content should feel easy to you. And that's exactly what this video is about. So content is something where I have done this for probably 3 years at this point. I started in 2023 and I've got roughly 23,000 followers on Instagram and like 1.5K on YouTube from the people that I see as a cult-like fan base. So people that actually are there for me and not just for the information that I provide. And the reason that you feel stuck is because you are copying. That's what it comes down to. When you live in a point of a masquerade, when you're trying to mask who your true self is, you can feel stuck. And this is how your business looks like, right? Or how your personal brand is looking like. You are trying to put on this mask of this happy person that is doing exactly what they want, posting content, and you feel hollow. You've got no heart. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to gain a heart and actually create something that you are proud of. And yeah, just so you guys know, if you don't know who I am, my name's Jay. I'm a personal branding coach. I've been doing this for 3 years. I've been helping probably at this point over 100 coaches. 70 have been working with me one-to-one, and around 100 I've been working all together through group coaching, etc. And my ultimate goal is to get you to 20K a month using a belief-shifting personal brand. And the main thing is your personal brand doesn't have soul. And it's okay to not have soul at the beginning, because when you're starting your personal brand, what you've been told by all the gurus is just copy what works, right? If that sounds familiar, then this video is for you. And the reason why this is not going to work long term is because people see you, they just see you as an information source. They don't see you as an authority. They see you as someone that is regurgitating information. Anyone, especially in the personal branding space, can take a proven idea that's working, copy it, and get views. That's just, if you don't know how to do that, then I don't know, maybe you just suck at recording camera or whatever it is. But anyone that is creating content should be able to copy a viral video and get it to work. Now, what happens more often than not is there's a quote unquote personal branding coach or a mentor, and they copy information, right? They copy information that's working for others. Geez, my handwriting is horrible today, guys. They copy information, they build up their own personal brand, and then they sell mentorship saying, I'm going to tell you how to do the same. And it's basically just this cycle of, people copying others and then people teaching others how to copy others, and then they don't get results. And then it's this whole kind of cycle of everyone's copying each other, and the only person that is making money is the people that are mentoring on how to copy others, but not actually building a real brand. And that cycle I want to break once and for all. Okay, because the only thing that you want to do is you want to build a one-of-one personal brand. Now, in my coaching program, Reality Creator, we've got this thing called the one niche, okay? And the one niche is basically our version of creating a niche of one. And the niche of one is comprised of, or the one niche in this case, is comprised of 3 different elements. You, your mechanism. And by the way, guys, the reason why I'm drawing everything from scratch and not preparing is actually for a reason. It's to get rid of all the people that are just like extremely fast-paced kind of people that can't concentrate. So this is actually for a reason. So if you don't enjoy this, you should probably get off this video, because my channel is not going to be for you. And then it's ultimately the result. So these 3 things is what's going to build your one niche. You, so this is your personality, your values, your story, everything that is kind of unique to you. By the way, this is all unique to you, but this is yourself, your mechanism. So what is the things that is ultimately getting your audience to their goal? For me, I've got my Creator Force system. I've got the Reality Matrix, which if you follow my YouTube channel, you might know already. And the result is ultimately, where do you want to get people to? Now, at the beginning of this YouTube video, I said, I want to get you to 20K a month through a belief shifting brand. And that's exactly what I help people do. So when you get clear on those 3 things, then you build a one-of-one personal brand, okay? So you might be asking, okay, Jay, that's cool. I've written down everything and I've done these exercises a million times. How do I actually get this to kind of translate into me making content every day? Well, the biggest thing, and I want to mention this first, is you want to lower your friction and your standards massively. Okay, lower friction plus standards. And this doesn't mean that you're creating shitty content. This means that you are acting like a human being. Wow, right? Because guess what? Human beings, what makes us human, guys? What makes us human? We are flawed creatures. We make mistakes. We're not perfect, okay? So that means when you make content from this lens as a human, you're going to make mistakes and it's not going to be perfect. And that's how I want you to get into the space of making content, is to lower that friction, okay? Because most of you are starting off your personal brand up here, right? If I look at this in terms of like quality, oops, I messed that up a little bit. Quality, this is the quality and this is time, okay? This is the quality and time graph that I just made up because I'm a genius. I'm just kidding. So this is the quality time. And what most personal brands look like is this. That's what most personal brands look like. They put a ton of quality in and then a week later goes by and their personal brand is over. I would much rather you have this. Pretty simple, right? Quality is very low at the start, but you're consistent and you improve it over time and you build something that has a cult-like brand, okay? And the biggest thing that I recommend for this is to do these 3 types of content, okay? So this is the 3 types of content that's gonna make it very easy to post a ton consistently without burnout, okay? The key thing is without burnout, because a lot of people, they think, oh, burnout, that's something that's not going to happen to me. And then next thing you know, I'm like, hey, dude, like, where's your personal brand? Like, I thought you've been building. Oh, yeah, I stopped. It's because of family. It's because I've got other priorities. And I'm like, okay, what is a bigger priority than escaping the rat race, the matrix, and not being replaced by AI? Oh, it is, it's this thing. And then they make all these mistakes because they don't realize that they're just burnt out like hell. Okay, so these are the 3 types of content, 3 content types to prevent this. Okay, so all of my clients know this. So there's low lift content. And by the way, just to make this clear, I didn't come up with this. There's a guy called Brian Cochran. I think I pronounced his name correctly. And he came up with this and I think it's genius and I'm going to just reciprocate it, okay? So there's low lift content, okay? Low lift content is like the 7-second audio reels, 7-second reels that have audio with a quote on it. And it's basically stuff that is very easy to create, okay? And now this is stuff that is very good for top of funnel content, okay? So this is stuff like this. It's motivational. It gets people that are in the area of who you want to help, but not like, it's not super specific, right? So I'm talking to entrepreneurs, I'm talking to ambitious people, I'm talking to founders, and these get a lot of views, right? This is like pretty simple to make, 3.7K views, 143 likes, and it's top of funnel awareness and very easy to create, okay? Now, the only downside with this, if I go back to my board, is it builds a very low amount of trust, okay? Because it's just, by the way, it should always be your clips. It's very low amount of trust because you don't speak, it doesn't talk about your story, but it builds top of funnel awareness, okay? And this is always great to do to, first of all, build your confidence that you can even get views, and also just move your brand in the right direction, okay? And this is mostly broader and top of funnel type of stuff, okay? Top of funnel. And then you have the best type of content, in my opinion, which is the Yap style content. And this is 30 to 45 seconds is kind of a sweet spot. And this is where you're talking exactly to your ideal audience about who you are, your story, your mechanism, your thoughts, just anything that builds you as a person, okay? Now, if I do examples of this, this is this. I made a video for Easter. I made a video here about how my YouTube is popping off. I made a video here, and it's very good to build a connection with your audience, okay? So this is where trust is kind of high, okay? Trust is high on this one, and it's very authentic. The only downside is to get views. It's going to be hard, but that's okay, okay? We're not optimizing for views, we're optimizing for connection and trust, okay? And then the third type of content, and this is the hardest to make, it's called luxury content. And this is where you might need a bit of preparation. You might need a prep, okay? So what is this? I don't really make that content that much, but it might be screen share videos. It might be content where you're doing a prep like this, for example. I mean, this is kind of like documentation, Yap style content. But essentially, this will be an example, right? You're doing reaction style content. You're just taking a bit of preparation, okay? So that type of stuff. Maybe it's this one where this is actually documentary style content, but it's editing, it's stuff that takes preparation, okay? Now, the good thing about this is it's meant to be very unique to your brand. So it builds a lot of brand authority because it's unique, but it might take a lot of time and might not get a ton of reward because you don't know if it's going to perform, right? You can take inspiration from other people, but that isn't the goal of this. This is something to build your unique brand. Okay. I'll give you an example because you know what? Fuck it. I think his name is Marshall. He's got a ecom brand. Marshall. No, that's not his name. I think his name is Matthew. Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, no. So it's basically like, let's say you make a video and it's, 5 minutes long about your story. Technically, if you put tons of editing into that, you have no idea if people will watch it. But it's a luxury style content because it's going to build a lot of connection with your audience, okay? So what is the kind of ratio on what you want to do this, okay? So what is the ratio of this 3 types of content? Ratio. That says ration, but we're going to run with it. So 80% of the time, you're going to do Yap style content. I'm going to make this very simple for you guys. 10% is low lift and 10% is luxury. Okay? So what does this create in your brand? This creates what I like to call freedom. Okay? This creates freedom, or peace is another way to see it. I did the peace sign wrong. It was a Mercedes sign. So this creates peace. Why does this create peace? Because peace is in the distance between content. If you're always waking up and you always have to create content, you're fucked because you're seeing it as a chore. You're seeing it as it like bringing down the trash, and no one wants to do that. Okay? The same is with income inflation, right? If you make more money, if your income creeps up like this and your expenses creep up like this as well, the distance between your income and your expenses right here, this is your freedom. And the tighter this is, the more stressed you're going to be. Okay? And the same thing we want to do with content. If your time that you're spending content is like here, right? And you're like, if the time that is there is extremely high and your results are kind of very low, then you're just going to feel stressed. Okay? Maybe this wasn't the best example. But the point is, you want to create content fast and easy to create this gap where content is very quick and easy to create and it builds a lot of leverage. And that is where you want to be. Okay? You don't want to be the person that puts tons of time into and doesn't get the results. Okay? So what I want you to do is leverage those 3 types of content: low lift, Yap, and luxury. Okay? So how do we create these bits of content? Okay? To in the best possible way. The Yap style content, you want to do it in which you just talk to the camera, talk to your phone. Okay? I actually don't want you to get a high quality camera. You're going to talk to your phone. You're going to get the Edits app for Instagram, and you're going to record directly through there, and you're going to post it. Okay? Well, you're going to post it like this, right? You're going to put a title here, and you're going to put captions here, and you're just going to talk. That's literally it. If you can get views, if you can learn how to create a connection here by just being yourself with enough reps, and you can look at my content as an example, and you do that consistently, you are going to build a belief-shifting brand, okay? I always love to do this as an example, guys. But this guy, this wasn't easy, this took time, this took years of effort. He's making roughly $1 million a month, 600 to $1 million a month. And he's just posting content straight to the phone. And I don't know about you guys, but what is a bigger flex? Getting 10,000 views by spending 5 hours editing, scripting, and uploading, or spending 60 seconds in your car after you just got a haircut and getting the same amount of views? What creates more freedom in your life? The second option, right? And that doesn't mean your content can't have your own style or your own swag. For me, I like to use these LUTs, okay? And I like to use these black bars. That's just my style, and that's how I like to create it. You can create your own style or your own twist, but keep it simple, because simplicity is where you're going to be able to scale. What is the quote? Simple scales, complex fails. So make it easy for yourself. The more easy this is, the better you're going to have leverage, and you're ultimately going to have fun with your content. And that is the goal, okay? Now, a lot of you guys are still going to have anxiety. Okay, Jay, you told me in this video, I'm going to show you how to make soul content that doesn't make you feel stuck. This is how you do it, but action is where it is all on you. You can download the Edits app and start talking to your phone without copying other people's content by creating your unique ideas. You can do that, or you cannot. That's completely out of my control. But my goal is for you to post content that is based off your one niche, which is you. Let me get back to it, which is ultimately your mechanism, and the results that you provide for your clients you're going to talk about in your content, and you're going to do it until you get really good at shifting beliefs. Okay? Now, I've got plenty of other videos on my channel about how to do this. This isn't about this video. This is how to create content in an easy fashion and to do it for the long run. With this strategy, you can post 5 to 10 times a day. Yes, that sounds crazy, but what used to take 5 hours a week, it can take 30 minutes with intention and with speed, okay? So I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. I have a 7-day belief shifting challenge in my free school group. It's completely free for you guys to go through. I will literally show it to you right now. So if you go to my free school group, if you click on the belief shifting challenge, I've got an introductory video. I've got examples of content to create. I've got day 1 all the way to day 7, so you can change your entire brand and shift beliefs and create a cult-like audience in 7 days. Now, does this mean I'm going to promise you thousands of followers? No, actually the complete opposite. I'm going to show you how to make content fun and how to attract the right people into your business to create a brand that ultimately gets to 20K a month and builds you freedom. Okay? If that's a good deal, then click the link in the description, join my school group. If you're already in it and you're seeing this video, I am looking forward to catch up with you guys in the community. Awesome. Peace, guys. Have a great week.